This is one of the strangest driver designs that I have ever seen. Now, I can't say it's the first time I've ever seen this design because we had another driver on this channel that had a huge offset like this, but it's definitely the first time that I've seen it out of a larger, more well-known brand. And on today's video, that brand is Tour Edge. This driver is the E525x model, and this driver is all about preventing the slices out there. So if you struggle with shooting balls off into the right woods or ponds, this is a driver you're probably going to want to think about. It's not a driver for a more advanced golfer. This is absolutely going to be a driver for a higher handicapper or even a beginner out there, but this could make golf a whole heck of a lot more fun. It's already a frustrating enough game. Why not give yourself a little bit of help? Let's take a closer look here. So if you saw my review of the 525 driver, the non-X model, the standard model, you'll recognize a lot of this technology. First of all, you've got Ridgeback technology. The Ridgeback technology is going to allow this to be a very stable driver and really keep a lot of the weight towards the perimeter of this club and through the middle, as well as the bottom there, but save a lot of weight here. And so this club is going to be very anti-twist, all right? It's going to resist wanting to turn one way or the other. That's really nice. At the back of this club, you've got a big giant tungsten weight, very reminiscent of the Rogue ST line from Callaway. It's also the same color scheme. Interestingly enough, I'm not sure why Tour Edge didn't go with their red. I think that would have been a better choice, but they went with this very reminiscent Callaway design. It is a very clean looking design. Now let's talk about the face here. This face is got technology from their more expensive exotics line from Tour Edge. Tour Edge exotics came up with diamond face technology, which is basically variable face thickness. So again, this face can flex depending on where those strikes are. So we'll see out on course just how forgiving this one is, but it's got the top of the line Tour Edge technology inside of it. In terms of a shaft, I'm playing the same shaft I played the regular model with. This is a helium 60-gram stiff shaft from Mamiya. I actually really enjoyed it on the standard model. And then just like the standard model, we've got a cross line from Lambkin, just a real basic run-of-the-mill grip. Now that we've seen it, let's get it out on course and put it to the test. Okay, we're gonna see what this thing can do. Now I've got my Garmin G80 here to give us some launch data, as well as gonna provide us accurate GPS distances so we know how far we hit this club. I am gonna take a real outside to in swing because I generally draw the ball anyways, and I've got to prevent that. We'll see what happens here with the X. Oh my gosh, that's actually pretty much perfect. Hit the hill and it actually is gonna travel down there. The club head speed was 100, the ball speed was 142, which means the smash was 142. I like when I swing at 100 because it makes that calculation easy. Estimated carry there, 225. Again, you're gonna really try to exaggerate coming over the top. We're taking the swing path that a lot of folks would take if they were to slice the ball. Oh my gosh. It's amazing how it wants to just auto-correct. I was looking for that ball to be going left and actually comes off the right with a nice little draw. It was pretty perfect. Club head speed 98, ball speed 139, smash 141, estimated carry 216. We'll hit one more here. All three of those on a very similar trajectory. That one is a little more leaking right on us. Club head speed 98, ball speed 140, smash 142, estimated carry 217. Might be more into the rough and it may have caught a bunker, but all in all, trajectory-wise, very, very similar, and all just a nice little tight draw to them on a swing that it should have been really fading, honestly. So it's great to see that the driver's doing what it says. All right, so our third shot did in fact find the bunker here. So we'll neatly rake this one out. And we're at 230 is the distance, but we lost a lot of potential distance there and any rollout that we could have possibly had. Now, this was our second shot, 240 exactly, so 10 yards further. Our best drive is probably another 10 yards past that one. We're right at 252 here with this one, with a perfect angle into the green. And again, all three of those, in terms of, really guarding against a fade on a slice swing that I took, did an excellent job there. So what we're gonna do next here is go to a max distance test. We'll see how far this one can actually fly, but just in terms of doing what this driver says and claims it's gonna do, I think it absolutely does that. All right, max distance test here. We've got a real straightaway fairway. Hopefully we will hit. And I'm gonna try to get that swing speed up. I've topped out this year at 109. Now that was with a very aerodynamic driver. That was with a longer shaft on it. This is a more standard length shaft. As you can see here are the specs on the website. And I don't think this is necessarily built for aerodynamics, but we'll see what it can do. 103, 104 would be pretty darn good though. Now I'm also taking more of a fade swing, which is gonna be not quite as powerful for me either, but let's see. Oh, it's on a really great line again. Just a nice tight draw. 104 is the number, that's great. 147 is the ball speed, 141 is the smash. Estimated carry, 236, which again, for that swing speed, is fairly efficient. I think I caught that one a little toe side too. It wasn't quite middle of the club face, so decent. Shot 2. Man, it's such a consistent driver. Club head speed 103, ball speed 146, smash 142, and estimated carry 233. And I think those balls are gonna be really close to each other. We'll take one more. That one absolutely off the toe and a very forgiving result. Should catch the left side of the fairway. Club head speed was 103, ball speed 142. The smash also tells me not a center strike, 138. Estimated carry 222. So we lost some distance too, but hey, we found a fairway. I think that's 3 for 3 in fairways. And 2 of those strikes were less than perfect. Let's find them. Let's have a little discussion on the aesthetics of this driver. We've already seen it in the closer look, but in terms of sound and feel, just like the other E525 I tried, the standard model, this one's definitely going to be a louder, tinnier sound. And it's gonna be off-putting, I think, to some people. For the beginners or the really high handicaps out there, listen, I'd be much more concerned with performance than sound. And especially if you're a beginner, you probably don't even have that much experience with drivers to really care much about sound. So I wouldn't worry about it, but I've got to let you know that it's there. But in terms of feel, again, just like the E525, it's got a very good feel. And I could tell right away when I hit those balls off the toe, exactly where my strike points are. That is going to be very important for high handicappers and beginners to really learn contact and know what you're doing. So you'll be able to do that here with the E525X. Great job. As I mentioned, all 3 of these balls in really great shape. This was actually our worst shot. It's still here on the left side. I think we'll call this fairway, although there's a little grass creeping in. It's not particularly defined. And 237 is our number here on a very, very poor strike. So great result. Now over here, we've got 2 really good drives. And like I said, they were on a really similar path. Again, both on the right side of the fairway here. This one's right at 250. This was the one that had a little less smash factor. This was a little off the toe. And this one was the one that was center of the club face. I don't know if we're gonna stretch into the 260s. No, we're not. 258 here is the number. So this is not a driver that I think is gonna blow you away from a distance perspective. But from a forgiveness perspective, which is the main goal of this driver, I think it's gonna do exceptional. But next is gonna be that forgiveness test. Let's find out. What I'm gonna try to do here is actually hit it on different parts of the club face. Do my best to hit one off the toe, off the heel, a little high and a little low. And let's see if we can hit some fairways with this. It's pretty narrow up here, actually. There's a bunker on the right, and there's a lot of pine trees down the left. So it's gotta be a fairly straight drive to hit this fairway. I'm gonna try heel first. So I'm really gonna get up on top of the ball here and really try to force hitting it towards the hosel of this club. And let's see how it reacts. Well, pretty darn good. I don't think we are going to hit a fairway, but we're just off in the left rough. We're not quite into the woods, thankfully. On this one, I'm gonna try to hit it high up on the face. I popped it right up. Will it make it the fairway? No. Well, mission accomplished there. I didn't want to hit it quite that high on the face though. This one I'm going to tee up real low at 3-wood height. Let's see how we do off the bottom of this club face. Still got some lift. It's close to the fairway. I think it might just be in that right rough. Again, pretty forgiving result, honestly. Lastly, on one off the toe. We've already hit a couple off the toe here today, but again, I'm going to exaggerate it and let's see what happens. That was dead off the toe. And it is working its way back into right center of the fairway. All in all, more forgiving than it should be for where those strikes were. I think that's definitely a place this driver will shine. All right, this next test is going to be the workability test. I'll do this from the driving range. We're going to take a number of swings here. We're going to see if we can hit some higher trajectory shots, some lower trajectory shots, see if we can work the ball right and left and left and right. I know it should be very easy to move it right to left, but let's see if we can move it left to right as well. It's easy to hit him that direction. Oh, that was weird. The tee came back and hit the club. That's never happened to me in 44 years playing golf. All right, time to rank this driver. Now, I always rank on 5 criteria, the first one being distance. In terms of distance, I don't think this driver is gonna blow us away. It's going to be a fair amount of distance, but that's not why you're gonna buy this driver. 3.5 out of 5 is what I'm going to give it. I think it is absolutely acceptable, but you won't be the longest driver out there with this one. Now, in terms of forgiveness, that's where this one is really gonna shine. I'm gonna give this one a full 5 out of 5, especially toe hits and heel hits. That increased MOI is absolutely going to forgive some of those mistakes that we're all gonna make on the golf course. When it comes to workability, again, generally when you've got a very forgiving driver, you're not gonna see a ton of workability. And that's the case with this one as well. I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 5 here for workability. All right, now when it comes to aesthetics, looks, feel, and sound, breaking these down one by one, in terms of sound, not my preference personally. In terms of looks, that's an interesting one because it's a very strange looking driver. Unless it's your first driver, then it wouldn't look any stranger to you than anything else. But to me, it does look a little strange, although I do like the paint job. I like the Callaway Rogue throwback in terms of aesthetics. I think it's a really nice looking package all in all. In terms of the feel, again, I think it does exceptionally with feel. Knowing exactly where on the club face you're hitting it, and it's so important. So all in all, I think 3.5 out of 5 is a fair number here in terms of the aesthetics of this driver. The last category is value. And with all Tour Edge products, this is again where they really shine. And for me, it's a full 5 out of 5 here for value. At $250 in today's day and age of $600, $650 and up drivers, you're getting exceptional value for a brand new club. Now, will next year these be a little bit cheaper? Sure. Can you pick up a used driver? Sure, but some people don't like to play used clubs. Some people like to try new clubs. They want to be the first person to swing them. They want to know if they're going to work out of the box, and they want to know that they've got a lifetime warranty backing it if there are any problems. If you buy it secondhand, you don't have any of that. So there is a lot of value packed inside these. Here on your screen is the score, but why are you going to buy this driver? You're going to buy it if you want to prevent the slice, if you want to prevent those shots going off to the right, you want to hit more fairways. This one's all about forgiveness, and that's why you want to take a look at this one. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you'll take a look at more of the videos here on this channel. Here's the Tour Edge E525 standard version, and here's one from the exotics line. Hope you enjoyed this one. I'll catch you back next time on another edition of Let's Play Through.